right, so we with the Most High, we with Dr. Sebi's son, and we with Mr. Vegan.
Peace, family.
Much love.
Thank you guys so much for hopping on. And we're going to get into mental health, spiritual health, and physical health. All right, so first topic. When it comes to going vegan, how hard and difficult was it to go vegan at first? I want to get each one of y'all opinions.
It was hard not knowing how to cook, but once I developed the know-how to cook, it became easier over time. And believe me, the food was nasty, but you just spend 2 to 3 hours cooking a dish, and you spend your money on it, you might as well eat it. Cause I think it's better to eat your food than going out eating other people's food, cause you don't know what they put in the food, and then you don't know what was on their mental while they was cooking food, because that is an energy transfer. So if this person going through something, he can put that same energy into the food. Mr. Vegan, I like to clear my mind. Any obstacles or anything that's happening in life is cleared once I start to cook, because it's an energy a transfer. People eat food for energy.
I went vegan about age 15 is when I went vegan, but it was like a mind over matter thing, to where it was just like it's something that I just put my mind to, and just like anywhere the mind goes, the body follows in that sense. And and I was really into spirituality, like in those early ages and stuff like that. And I felt like diet played a huge part in it, because diet does come from the Greek word diet. It means a way of life. So it was just a way of living that I chose. I had a few vegan dishes. I didn't have much, but I was working with something, that helped me transition, But that's kind of how I started. But then later on, I found more dishes, but
Me, I never experienced like eating vegan. I went straight to alkaline, Like, I never experienced eating soy. I never experienced eating like celery or broccoli,
That's a blessing.
Went to straight alkaline.
How difficult was it for you? Was it
I don't
your
think
body?
it's be like difficult, because I've been growing up, one part of my life, I moved with my father, in Wisha. That's everything is over there. It's alkaline food every day, So it's like, I need to eat that, because where I going to eat?
What y'all think about?
I got a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Do you think it would be? You were born in Honduras, right?
Yeah.
So it would be, because your father provided like a community, he had the herbs for you to be alkaline compared to being in America. What do you think it would be like more difficult, like raising or alkaline community, just because of the air?
I think it's very difficult, like us, like people, the color, whatever we call it, like black people, to be in America, because we eating the wrong food and we be in the wrong temperature, Black people can't be in the cold. We need to be close to the sun. Like, I can be more healthy. I can be in Honduras eating chicken. Yeah, I promise to you, I'm not going to deal whatever black people deal in America, because I'm going to have the mineral come from the sun, If the water is more clean, like black people be eating the pressed food, in the press weather, in the press system, that causes stress. Eating like the food people eat in America causes stress to the body. That's why it causes mucus. The same way when it's put the gas expensive, it causes stress. Like, that's called the oxygen for your body. That's why a lot of people dealing with stroke this a couple of years, because of stress. Stress the number one killer in the entire world. Like, America building by stress.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on tofu? Like, people be saying tofu is healthy and organic tofu. Like, what do y'all think about tofu?
Tofu is bad in all sense. Like, it's estrogen, so you literally putting estrogen in your body.
Right.
And that's really bad for it's bad for men and women, but it's especially bad for men, because you don't want to pump too much estrogen in your body, because that'll bring out feminine ways.
And would you say like the weed too? What y'all think about weed?
I would say if it's grown organically and they ain't putting all those crazy chemicals and pesticides and trying to make it a certain way, and because they be trying to make it look a certain way, have a certain smell.
Genetically modified.
Yeah. That weed right there, that's the weed that mess you up.
When you go to Honduras, Mexico is only one color, green. When you come to America, it's green, purple, yellow. Green, blue. Like that's it. Over there in Honduras, it look like watermelon. You feel me? So I live in LA, so I know how that weed growing, like the pH to the water to grow in like gorilla glue, so I need to be 4, because you push alkaline water, it's going to die. So you need to know, like, hey, what happened, Because if we drink alkaline water, it's because the body is electric, right? So you're going to give it more energy. But to that way, you can push alkaline water because you're going to die. So it's like you need to push number 4 to 3. So you push like 5 or 6, it's too strong, it's going to die. So you need to know like it's like not good for your body. Like
how does GMO wheat affect the body?
It's a very different way, most to the bone, like because you see everybody smoking the salsa, and you be like, show me your teeth, it's black, because it's pesticide, you feel me? So think you can eat your teeth, which no can do into your organ or to your bone,
Yeah, because your teeth is connected to like different organs, right?
Yeah, so you can see in your teeth, like, show everybody, like, hey, show me your teeth, like people smoking salsa, it's black.
Yeah,
like,
right now, everybody trying to get them veneers.
Like,
trying to cover all the damage up.
So you can know about that,
So you would say GMO weed is as bad as smoking cigarettes?
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. When it comes to our bodies, what's worse, brothers? Marijuana or alcohol? Weed or alcohol?
Both.
When it comes to our bodies.
Both. You can't. Just like Satan and Satan and the devil. You just call them different names.
I think alcohol has some way worse effects on me than marijuana. I've done them both. I don't do them no more, but I know that alcohol definitely caused a lot more negative. Like I definitely felt more negative when I was on alcohol as opposed to smoking weed. I did feel more blissful. Although that I still don't, cause I understand that weed can still kind of induce other bad habits because it lowers blood sugar levels and that makes you have the munchies and stuff like that, and then you indulge in like junk food and stuff like that. So I'm not condoning that neither. But
All right. So this is a popular topic. Do you guys really feel like we gotta drink a gallon of water a day? Is that like mandatory for our bodies?
Yeah, I need
a gallon of water a day.
Like me, yeah.
You gotta drink a gallon of water a day. What about you? Y'all two?
I would think it's essential to do, especially a gallon of alkaline spring water. It's like a gallon of the right water.
The right water, right?
We move around a lot,
right?
And we active, we meeting people, so the water is electric. So we need that in our body just to flush out the toxins that's constantly coming into our body, either from the weather, from people, from food. We're just not eating the right things.
That here is water,
What's the best type of water you would say? Lime water, lemon water.
Like,
sometimes
we key lime, because it electrify your body, break down the mucus.
Now, I truly appreciate this brother right here, right? I started going to springs because of him. You had posted a spring on in Hill Springs in South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
A couple years back. I just had to go out there, and that's how I got introduced to like going to like local springs. Then I found the one in Georgia that had sulfur water. Have you tried that one yet?
No.
Indian Springs. It comes directly out of a rock.
Wow.
It's about like an hour and a half from here.
That's beautiful, brother.
And it had that smell too because of the sulfur that's in it.
Oh, wow. So it's thermal water over there? Or no? Oh, wow.
But it's regulated by the park, so they got like this big globe over it, so it like shoots the water out very, very slow.
The spring water is good, but it's like a lot of spring waters are asbestos, like heavy metal, from like whatever the country, what is put the government, it's going to that water. No, it's going to the water. You need to continue to filter the spring water, like nobody Monte Valley or shit like that. You think it's like clean.
And distilled? What do you think about distilled water?
Distilled water is good for making tea. It's no alkaline or acid. But I don't support because like why the white man went to touch the water, push it on. Yeah, it's like leave the water alone. Come on.
Yeah. And I know you don't drink no drinking water, sparkling. You don't drink drinking water, I'm guessing, because they say that's bad.
Sparkling water is very good, like for like take the gas from your colon.
What about drinking water?
Huh?
Drinking water.
No.
Oh, that is okay.
What's that?
They got it. You never heard of drinking water? They sell that at some stores. It's called drinking water. But they say you'll be surprised when you see at the store. All right. Water. Yeah, they got it in Florida. Yeah, in Florida. I know they got it in here. Yeah. So next question. Does your woman have to be plant-based or it doesn't matter?
1,000%.
1,000%.
You talking about woman?
Yeah.
Like the woman I'm with?
Yeah.
1,000%. Because if she's not vegan, it's she bringing too much negativity around you because you trying to keep your energy clean, you trying to keep your mind clean, and this is your woman. She a representation of you. But she gotta be vegan.
But you know something? I don't think like I classify people because vegan, alkaline, because I think like some vegan people is about too much ego. Like remember, you come from eating chicken, you feel me?
Yeah.
So no comment like, oh, she nasty because she like.
No.
You can show her.
Your woman though.
Yeah, bro, you can
Somebody
teach
that you
her.
want to be with.
But you can teach her.
Shit.
Like, if you love her, you can teach her, right? Because everybody comes from eating chicken, everybody comes from eating potato. Come on, nobody's perfect. So, like, teach somebody. A lot of people don't want to start eating chicken because sometimes the vegan people be like, you nasty because you eat chicken. Like, you need to be like, brother, I come from eating chicken. Like, change the way you eat, you're going to feel more better. Look at me. I change the way I eat, so it's not going to feel like that ego, like, oh, I'm more better than you because I eat vegan. You feel me?
Let me break it down. I'm not saying I won't mess with a woman that doesn't eat meat, but for us a woman, for her to be my woman, my wife, she has to be vegan. She has to. But I can mess with a woman that eat meat. You feel me? We can work it on, but in order for me to stay concrete in my mission, she gotta be vegan because it'd be too much confusion. I gotta explain this to her. We gotta break this down. But if we both vegan trying to transition into alkaline, it'd be easier for us to help people.
Yeah. All right, what's some of the negative traits you would see in a woman who eats meat? Like, what would you see?
The smell.
The smell. I already know you're gonna say that.
Smell, boy.
What about the aggression? Because they say a lot of people who eat meat are just super aggressive. They're just, what about that? Would you say that?
Yeah, I feel like people that eat meat, because it takes longer for meat to digest out of the body. So when they come across situations where it makes them angry, it's harder for them to let go because of the toxins that's in their body from that meat is just sitting. So that's why it's good to go on detoxing, to fast, to clean that colon out. And that's literally helping you on all physical levels.
What do y'all think a woman looks for in a man? A man who could cook? A man who could talk, or a man who can show action?
All of them. All of them.
Look at you.
I would say all in one.
Yeah.
I think like that's wrong because the woman look for that for one man. But everything, like me personally, everything I look like to give for one woman is like peace. You feel me? I'm not looking like she paid my rent or she give me like I want to give homie be in peace. You feel me? Like I think like woman like us like black men we pass for a lot of different shit because we have this bunch of celebrities try to teach the black woman like you may need to make 40,000, you may need to do this, like we need to be welcome drug dealer, we welcome drug dealer, we go to jail, it be like the girl be like, oh say this stupid nigga will come and drug dealer, so he going to find another nigga, like us only to try to make that woman feel good, but us not feel good with our own self, like black men don't have the opportunity to cry in internet because be like, you weak ass nigga. But a woman have the opportunity to cry in internet, be like, oh sorry sister, So I don't think like that shit,
What would be considered worst to our bodies, dairy or meat?
That's the same. When you ask about the alcohol and weed, that's the same thing.
Devil.
Like when he started feeding cows, that's when he started coming up with mad cow disease.
Yeah.
That shit is bad.
All right, let me. What about your body though? Like what?
Both.
Really?
Both.
Dang.
For anybody's body.
What about you, Victor?
The what?
What affects your body worse? What do you have like worse effects to? Dairy or meat? Both?
It's coming from the same shit.
It's all mucus building, toxins, like it's bad.
So why do you think they even have vegetarian or people just stop eating meat but still eat cheese? What's the point of that?
That's different conversation, man.
Vegetarian, that shit, it's just tricky, like in my mind it's just tricky, like it's just tricky words, like just to make you sound good. I'm vegan, I'm vegetarian, like it's just titles at the end of the day.
Right, so
is the goal is to be healthy. That's the goal. To be healthy. Fuck vegan, fuck vegetarian, healthy. That's the goal.
Like with the dairy shit, I think it was Dr. Layla Africa was talking about how 70% of black people can't digest cattle milk, dairy and whatnot. And like he was saying too, it's like we come from hotter temperatures and like more humid environments where milk would be harder to preserve, like naturally. So I mean,
white people like how processed milk.
Yeah, they love milk.
White people come in the cold.
That's
why white people know how carbon.
Man, I promise you, you look up the origin of things.
It's like this phone died, right? We need to push in the sharp to sharp. Us like black people, how we going to charge this color? See, we're close to the sun.
So the word vegan, right? I know you study what's it called, etymology, right? The study of words. The word vegan. Would you say the word vegan right now is being like trade marketed as like a brand, the people to make more money off? People are just
Yeah, it's definitely become a trend. I would say that veganism has, in a sense, even become its own belief system or even religion at this point, where people are even becoming religious about veganism. Now it's intertwined with certain beliefs, like to where it's like, people become, it's like we intermix PETA type activity also within veganism as well. So I mean, I don't conform, which is why I'm actually straying away from the title or the name vegan. Myself, I'd rather say plant-based than anything, because it's other connotations that come with calling yourself a vegan.
See, the only thing with plant-based, right? You can go to Chick-fil-A and they got a plant-based burger. It's just tricky. And like vegan don't mean you healthy. So the best way is to be alkaline.
But it's like everybody got a vegan burger too now.
Yeah, but that don't mean it's healthy though. It's just
Your body's your body's alkaline, not vegan or different label. Like when I classify myself like vegan, I be like classify myself to be part of the one community the white man made that. I don't want to be part of that, But mine is not come from the white man, it come from God. So that's why alkaline play very important thing in my life, And everybody is different, and every black person, no vegan. Like vegan, be like it's not game bang, like be blood and crazy. Like come on, but it's alkaline. The more beautiful thing about alkaline, you can be white, you can get healed. You can be black, you can heal. You can be Chinese, you can be healed. Why? Because it comes from God, it's electric, body's electric, like vegan,
So, Victor, what's some of the effects of an acidic body? What's some of the effects of an acidic body?
Diabetes, cancer, tumor, everything.
Everything?
Yeah.
And what's the first way and step to heal an acidic body?
The what?
What's the first way and step to heal an acidic body? Mentally.
Before you put the chicken in your mouth, something wrong over here.
All right, what's some foods that help the DNA? I know some of y'all got some foods, especially you, Victor, and you, Mr. Vegan. What's some foods that help y'all like with y'all DNA, repairing DNA? Mushrooms. Mushrooms, okay.
I'm definitely gonna say mushrooms. I'm a forager, so I like to go in the woods and find mushrooms. The best mushroom I like is like the lion's mane or chicken of the woods or the reishi mushroom. Especially in Georgia, you can find any three of those mushrooms in the state of Georgia. They are native here.
So when you go in the woods, what do you find in it? What else do you find in the woods?
In the woods?
Like to eat.
Oh, to eat wise. Oh, for me or just anybody? Just animals out there too, because I don't.
No, I'm talking about like for you. Like when you go out in the woods, what do you eat? Like what do you like search for?
See, it's mainly mushrooms. I'm not good at being able to identify different herbs because there's a lot of herbs that's native to Georgia, but I walk past them every day. I'm literally just looking for mushrooms. So I'm looking for a reishi mushroom, lion's mane, turkey tails, chicken of the woods, hen of the woods. These are all different species of mushroom that just grows in Georgia. And some of them are medicinal as well, like turkey tails, medicinal, lion's mane, medicinal, and the reishi mushrooms.
It's very important right now because we're dealing with this poison thing. It's called heavy metal,
Yes.
It's a mushroom help you to clean the body from heavy metal. With the soil in UK, people start to clean the soil with the mushroom, to remove the heavy metal.
So I know all the viewers right now are probably watching you guys. They're probably like wondering what's the 3 herbs that all of you guys use. So I'm gonna ask you first. What's the 3 herbs you, Mr. Vegan, use that helps you the most on a daily basis or through even a weekly basis? What 3 herbs or products that you use on a daily basis or weekly basis?
Sea moss, John, and mullein.
Okay.
I actually got that from a video on your dad. He said he took sea moss and John.
Right.
And John is very hard to find. Well, it was very hard for me to find because it's native to Haiti. That's the only place that you can get the John mushroom.
And what does it do?
It's iron. It's a good source of iron.
It's only growing here.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then the sea moss is
everyone knows sea moss.
Calcium.
Yes.
The only mushroom, can people take the oatmeal mushroom and start to grow in farming, that mushroom only growing 80. Can farm that mushroom like big. Okay.
All right, what about you, Mosai?
Obviously CMOS, and then go to cola and ginkgo biloba. That's great for improving brain function and memory. That's what I use.
Okay, and you, Victor?
I said CMOS, cáscara sagrada, y sarsaparilla, you know. Because CMOS help with my bone, cáscara sagrada help me to clean my colon, y sarsaparilla help me with iron, you know. A lot of black people dealing with anemia, sickle cell, because we don't take nothing with iron, like iron fluoride, you know, coming from plants.
Okay, do you guys ever see yourself going breatharian in your life? Cause
Probably like fasting, like probably like 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
maybe,
2
but
weeks, okay.
not forever.
Not forever, okay.
Yeah, I can see me just trying it out just to see how my body would adjust. But I wouldn't do it in America. I would want to do it in a certain environment.
Now, before we carry on with that question, like, how do you define being a breatharian? Because some people got their own definitions on that.
So a breatharian, from what I know, right, is someone who does not eat meat, does not eat no type of food.
No water.
No water, nothing.
I heard they do have soups once a month. That's what I did.
No.
But I'm talking about, I've heard some breatharians talk about that they live off like straight air. Like,
Yeah, they literally do breathing exercises to get their primary function of energy.
But air is water.
Right.
Yeah.
So would you ever see yourself? Because people say the healthiest form of our bodies is breathing. We're not even supposed to be eating. So that's why I was begged to ask that question. Would you guys ever go breatharian? What about
When
you?
you say go breatharian, you mean forever?
We sick because we know our oxygen in the body. You know?
Right.
We don't even know how to breathe, you know. And sometimes that's why I laugh here about these conscious people talk about so many knowledge, but it'll be like a lot of people don't even know how to go to the restroom. Like people go to the restroom, sit down like that, you know. The right way to go to the restroom is like that. So a lot of people don't know. So
you're saying like get the basic
like
steps
anxiety,
first.
you know, sometimes people feel anxiety in the leg because it's not too much oxygen over there.
Yeah.
But you have Alzheimer's because not too much oxygen reaching your brain. That's why you have Alzheimer's, you know?
Yeah.
So I think like I do sometimes dry fasting sometimes is the high level, like you feel it, you know? But I don't think it's going to be forever.
So what's the longest you ever fasted?
Like dry fasting, like 4 days.
What about water fast?
Dry fasting is like no water, no food, no nothing.
Yeah, but have you ever water fast or no? Water fast. How long have you gone water fast?
I did it with my father. It's very difficult to do water fasting in America because it's too much stress. Like you know, when you fast, you want to be in peace because little shit you want to be angry.
Yes.
So like I like to be in peace, you know. So
That's a fact.
I didn't want to do it as no kid.
And why is that though? I gotta ask you that. Why does fasting make us more like irritated over the small thing? Why does it make us like, ugh?
Because we be taking sugar the entire life. You know, you take that crack from the crackhead going to be angry, depressed. You take that sugar from one black person going to be like anxiety, stress, everything, you know?
Yeah, you want to chop your head off.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of sugar, they say sugar is actually more addictive than cocaine.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? You think?
Hell yeah.
That's
Sugar.
a fact. That's a fact.
Dang.
They've been pumping sugar in us longer than cocaine.
You go to the store, everything is all sugar.
You take sugar out of most of these candies, you wouldn't even want to eat it.
That's a fact. I mean, most of the candy made with like gasoline, petroleum, and they like hide it saying it red 40, blue 1, and yellow 5.
That's the best drug they're gonna push on every community, sugar.
All right, what drives all you guys to be yourself today? What motivates you not to care about what others think? I'll go with you first.
I ain't gonna lie, watching teachers like Dr. Sebi, Dr. Africa, just had that being comfortable in your knowledge and your information and knowing that you have something that can help people, that can benefit people. And it doesn't matter a person coming up, whatever information they got, it doesn't matter. Because you solid in your foundation and you know what you're doing is right.
What about you, the Most High?
You know, I would have to add on to that, but I would have to say that my inspirations definitely come from teachers like, Dr. Ben, John Henrik Clark, like Richard D. King and those people, like Sheikh Anta Diop.
And you, Victor?
I mean, I think it's life, It's not even my father. I learned it from my father, But I think we live in a slave society. Everybody follow somebody. We never follow their own self.
Right.
You ask any black person, which people you follow? This one. But you follow yourself? No, because, I think everything starts yourself, Because not start with the second person because I have diabetes. He know I have diabetes. So he don't feel whatever I feel. So, I need to start listen to my body, because a lot of black people, the only way black people going to be worried is when you don't have money for this week. But a lot of black people eat 3 times a day, go to the restroom only 1 time in a week. I be like, you don't worry about that. You only worry when you don't have money in your pocket,
Mm-hmm.
So when you start to listen to your body, that's when you're going to start to know the truth. But follow people, I don't follow nobody. That's what my father teach me. So I can't say like nobody's spiritual to me. I'm thinking it's like, I'm free.
All right. On you, Victor Bowman. I'm meant to ask this question. A lot of people are depressed today, especially younger people. What keeps away the depressive thoughts, depression?
Depression is coming from the weather.
The weather.
Yeah, because you see in the summer everybody happy. When it's coming the cold weather, everybody depressed. I go to New York tomorrow. Every time I go to New York, I get depressed. I eat healthy, you feel me? But the weather in New York, it's not my environment. So you're not going to push one gorilla in Canada because he's going to be sick,
Even if you eat the fruits, because the fruits is condensed sunlight, so it still make you...
And like the food in America, it's not organic food in America.
Right.
Everything is heavy metal, pesticide. Every farm in America is close by the freeway. I ain't going to be heavy, organic food.
Right, so you feel like the sun is important to happiness. Yeah. Right, I agree.
In every way.
And what about you, the Most High? What would you feel like is what keeps away those depressive thoughts? What would you tell someone who's younger or anyone in general to keep away the depression?
I mean, I think it's definitely a lack of serotonin.
Serotonin.
And that being a happy hormone, as we're talking about the pineal gland and its neurotransmitters, melatonin and serotonin, which regulates your body's internal clock. I would say too that tryptophan can be an antidepressant that would help as well because that helps create serotonin. So I think eating fruits definitely helps with the tryptophan.
Okay. And what about you, Mr. V? What helps keep away those depressive thoughts?
I was saying having a healthy community, being able to go to people that you can talk to, just having a foundation and definitely having a hobby. So if you don't have that community, having a hobby can bring something out of you that'll help you be able to get past whatever depression or something that's causing disease in your mind. In your brain, my bad.
I think America is it's very difficult to speak about you doing this. Because we can eat healthy food every single day, but remember, we need to go to work, we need to go outside. If something's going to make you depressed, sometimes you can be rich, you drive in a neighborhood, you're going to feel depressed because the people over there, maybe you have the dire money, you feel peace, but when you go to this kind of neighborhood, you feel depressed because that's your people, So growing up my kids in America, that's going to be child abuse because people don't enjoy life here in America. You ask to any person, you go to the river? No, I don't know where's the river. You go to the ocean? I don't know where's the ocean. Some people don't even know LA. From Philly, never fly to LA because they don't know nothing,
How do you guys feel like more of our people can get more into unity? You see the other races, the Asians, the whites, they're all into growing in their businesses with their families and being united. How do we unite? What's the first step?
I think we need to take the religion for black people because Muslims come from Africa, Christians come from Africa, Catholics come from Africa, any religion come from Africa. See, we're going back to the natural environment, to the natural law. We're not going to be divided because, I see you see the leader in America, any leaders agree to each other because one is Muslim, the other one is Christian. But everybody preach. Freedom for nobody,
And what about you, Ahmose? I know you got some information on this subject.
I mean, I think we definitely got to utilize in terms of like building black businesses. Like you just said, like, it seems like everybody owns something in the black community except for black people. It's like we can go to Chinatown, we can go to the Hispanic side of town, we could go to Jewtown, and we could see that they own everything in the community. But in the black community, everybody owns something in the black community except for black people. So with that being said, I think we got to utilize the black dollar and support other black businesses and support each other. And that's actually like where it first starts, is that form of unity in itself. And I think the religion, as he's saying, it does help divide us as well. Like a lot of these a lot of labels is simply a manifestation of one's ego, and then they use this to then divide and conquer. So it's like, what was his spirituality prior to Christianity, prior to Islam, and prior to these Abrahamic faiths? And then we should unify there, and then we could trace a lot of the fundamental elements that led up to these Abrahamic faiths back into Africa. Right, we could trace the word Christ can be found in the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs as Karas, which also means to anoint, and then we could find the oldest Immaculate Conception. All those stories can be found amongst the Nile Valley. So, and that should be where we come together at.
And what about you, Mr. Vegan? What would you feel like is needed for unity? If that's either more communication, more businesses, what would you say?
I'm gonna start with internal.
Internal?
Stay alkaline. Go alkaline.
It all starts from inside. I wouldn't blame you, for real.
What you putting in your body, it affects how you interact with people and how you are as a being. So if you controlling what you eating, it's a nice start.
What's the worst food? I want to get this. This is a fun question. What's the worst food we could possibly eat on the planet right now? If that's either fast food, what would you say, Victor Bowman? What's the worst food I could eat right now?
I don't know, because we go to
like
Jamaica.
if I ate it right now and I ate it right now, you got mad at me like,
no, we go to Jamaica, it's the ackee, is bad. We go to Africa, it's the cassava. We come to America, it's the chili. So it's very difficult to say one food, like a bunch of thousands of bad food. Like, we're not gonna finish it. It's whatever you are, maybe,
What about you, Mr. Vegan? What food would I eat right now? You gonna be like, dang, why are you eating that? Like,
boy, if I seen you eating some pork, that'd mess my head up. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. I see my man got a piece of bacon. I'm like, ugh. Cause pork just got a strong smell than compared to other meats. Pork got a real.
But lamb is more poison than pork.
Wait, what is?
Lamb. A lot of Muslim people eating that. Lamb is 10,000 more poison than pork. Yeah, a lot of people don't know.
Why is that though? Huh? Why is that?
To the Muslim, why you eat it? I don't eat it. I don't care about.
Why do a lot of vegans say like red meat is the worst, but then they think that fish isn't meat? A lot of people feel like fish isn't meat.
It's very important us like black people start to do their own research. No way these people say something, because everything we think, everything we talk is because these people said this, these people said that. See, we us like black people start to build their own thing, their own lab. If white people say, oh, this is good, we bring it to the lab, we test. We're going to talk to the us people, because gorilla only dealing with gorilla, tiger only dealing with the tiger. But black people follow everything the white man say. We are different in every aspect. In every different way. So that's why we so much confused. Like, we don't even know where we coming from. We the only people,
You got a question. Is there a difference between meat and fish?
Huh? Yeah, it's fish meat. It's fish and meat.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Here is the plastic.
Yeah. Speaking about plastics, there's an article saying that there's actually plastics in American food. Have you guys heard about that?
Soy.
Microplastics.
Microplastics, right?
Yeah,
right.
Everywhere.
And how can you tell if it's in the food? Because when I eat it, I don't taste it. How do you tell?
Microscope.
Microscope.
Lab testing. Stuff that we don't have access to. that the common person that don't have access to. And they do that strategically.
Okay. But that's been the interview, guys. It's been 35 minutes. I appreciate you guys so much. So much honor for you guys. You guys are so welcome on next time. And a lot of viewers are happy to see you guys on Victor Bowman, the Most High, and Mr. Vegan.
Much love, brother.
Thank you guys, brothers.
Appreciate you, family.
Thank you all.
1600 block. I just wanna rock. I just wanna.